Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning, wherever you're tuned in from. Welcome to another episode of What Now? It's actually going to be a great one because I have an incredible artist today. Her name is Shawnna, and if anyone doesn't know who she is, then look her up. But she'll probably be in here introducing herself to those who don't know. But I used to be a big fan of her. I'm still a big fan of her. So I'm very excited to speak to her. And I see her coming in. So let's just get her in here already. I hope everyone is doing fine during these crazy times in the world. Still crazy, still stuff going on. But hopefully we can get some inspiration today. Hey girl, what's up?
Hello, Paige. Thank you for having
Thank
me.
you for wanting to be here. This is amazing.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
I'm super excited because first of all, I have to shout out Court Digger for setting this up.
Yes.
He asked me if I wanted to talk to you, and I was like, hell yes, I want to talk to her.
That
Little do
is
you
so amazing.
know,
Yeah, Court is everything. He's just been on fire this entire time.
yeah, he's been on it because I think he got on to me through Four Eyes, and so Four Eyes is a good friend of mine, and
So
I had him in one of the talks earlier, like probably 2 months ago already,
that's
and
awesome. I just did a feature on his new project.
I know I saw
Yes.
it,
I
and
had so much fun with that record.
well, this is what I was gonna say. Like I've been in the Ludacris clique way back, so I knew of you, and I'm like, did I meet her already at some point in Atlanta? But I don't think we did because I would have remembered it. So
Yeah,
we've
same
been
here.
we've been in the same circles, but I'm so excited to talk to you right now. So
Thank
thank you
you. I
again for
really
being here.
appreciate it. So this is Amsterdam at 9 at night, right?
Yep, it's 9 p.m. It's still
That
bright
is so
outside.
dope. Hello, Amsterdam. Yes, I love it. I haven't been there in years. I cannot wait to come back.
When's the last time you've been here?
Woo, now we're going to show my age. Let me see. I was with Infamous Syndicate, and we were
Right.
able to go on tour with the Beat Nuts.
Oh
So
wow.
we went through everywhere. I'm talking about Germany, Switzerland, Paris, Amsterdam, of course.
Yeah, that must have been a while
It
ago.
was like 3 weeks over there, and we
Yeah.
just went everywhere. It's so beautiful.
Well, so now in this Corona times, everything is shut down for actually flying somewhere. But I would
Yes.
love, love, love for you to come and perform here and really throw down because your music has always been like on fire. I just
Thank you so much.
there hasn't been any female hip hop artist that I can compare to you. Um,
Wow, thank you so
yeah,
much.
because
Thank
I remember
you.
the first time you got on the scene, through Ludacris,
Mhm.
it was so refreshing. And me being a woman, this is what you want to see. We had the little Kims and the Foxy Browns, but you just came with a whole other vibe, like a whole other energy. And
Yeah.
yeah,
Peggy, I've always been like a tomboy.
yeah,
I've always been competitive with the boys. So I think that's a big part of my style and my swag and where I
yes,
get it from. I'm very tomboyish.
yeah.
It took me a while to get into my girly phase. You know what I'm
I love
saying?
your girly face, but I'm the
Thank
same
you.
way. I was a tomboy. I mean, I'm still a tomboy. I still don't wear anything other than sneakers and jeans and whatnot, but
It's
I
so
can dress up.
comfortable.
I
It's
can
so
dress up if I
comfortable.
have to.
Yes. See, that's the thing. Don't get me started. Like, okay,
Right.
don't make me do it. Because if I do
Girl,
it,
you
it's
look
gonna hurt
hot
some
on the
feelings.
pictures. You look like
Hmm?
you have not aged a damn day. Like your pictures
Thank
are
God I don't look
fire.
like what I've been through, okay? Because, oh my God.
Well, so talking about that, well, being such a fan back in the day, we love new music from you. So I was already excited when Court sent me your new stuff, and I've seen you release last year, and
Yeah.
it's still freaking fire. Like
Thank
you
you
have
so
not,
much.
your
I still
flow
love it.
hasn't changed. Lyrically, you haven't changed. If anything, you got better. So
Thank you.
what
Thank you.
has been the holdup all this time?
Well, I want to be a mom. You know, those days on tour, those months that turned into years on tour away from my kids just finally started to take a toll on me.
Yeah.
And I had a little girl, you know, and I didn't want to, I didn't want the responsibility of raising her and grooming her and teaching her how to be a woman to be anybody else's but mine.
Right. I
You
agree.
know, that way,
Yeah.
once she was able to go out into the world on her own, there would be no regrets. You know,
Right.
it would be me knowing that I did everything that I was supposed to do for her, because
Yeah.
that's what I owe her. That's my responsibility. So that's really been it. Just the change of the industry too. You know,
Yeah.
we talked about almost 20 years now. Now we're in a digital era. We now even more so in a virtual era
Yeah.
now.
I mean, we're
And
doing this.
yeah, we're so far away from where I started. So I'm just learning, you know.
Yeah.
I'm learning how to monetize that aspect of it, and it just, I don't know, just balancing all that at one time and still loving music and still wanting to do music. I just hope it all pans out. And now I've kind of gotten the cold feet. I'm a little nervous about releasing because we so far into a new sound, a new generation,
Yeah.
a new, you know, new everything. And I just, you know, I just want to do me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't want it to be about the numbers. I don't want it to be, oh, she came out and didn't do these amount of numbers, whatever. I just want
Right.
to be creative, and the people that appreciate my artistry can have an outlet that I gave them to come and listen to me and enjoy
Yeah.
what I produce. Other than that, like, I'm
But
just, you know.
still, you know, talking about the change of, you know, how the music industry now works, the whole environment has changed. Do you see the advantages though for you, because you can reach a wider audience, you know, through your
Absolutely.
social medias, and so for you to say, I just want people to, you know, like my music and listen to what I have to say, you actually can reach more people than being dependent on radio play or whatnot. You can throw things
Absolutely.
out. Yeah.
Yes, yes, I agree. But there is also another aspect of it. It's like just this reality. Everybody just they want to see everything. They want to see me at home.
Yeah.
They want me to go live. You know, and it's just, I'm I'm not from this era. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I'm from the era where we had to go to the venue. We had to go
Right.
to the label and perform in front of the people. So it's just an adjustment. You know,
Yeah.
it's an adjustment. And like I said, at the end of the day, I'm a mom, and that is a huge responsibility in itself
Yeah.
that takes up 28 hours out of the day,
Yeah.
let alone 24. So just trying to balance it all. I do know that I can reach a broader audience, but it's like you got to do so much nowadays to get your followers up. Like, I'm not, you know, I'm not going to twerk. I'm not going to bust it open. I'm not
Right.
going to get naked on the OnlyFans. So, you know, I'm kind of limited at, you know, the views,
Girl, I'm
because
not
it's
doing that
certain things
either.
that I won't do. But, you know, God is good. He got me this far, and I know he didn't bring me this far in vain. So,
Right.
you know, me and the team, we going to do everything we got to do, and, you know, we're going to push it.
Yeah, no, I love it. I absolutely love it. I just saw Four Eyes coming in. Shout out to Four Eyes. So
Yes, shout out to Four Eyes. Congratulations on the project.
I know, right? It's one of the best, if
Banging.
not the best hip hop album of the year. Like, I mean, in my opinion, I don't know what
Yes.
everybody else saying. If you don't have Four Eyes album, if you didn't listen to it, listen to it.
Yes. You have to have an appreciation for lyricism. If you're
Yes.
looking for that watered down sound, that's not it. Just don't even tune in, you know.
Like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
really, yeah, you got to appreciate that. But I think that's the refreshing aspect of it. There's not a lot of that out there. That's why
No.
it's so great, because
Yes.
he's unique in his own way.
Mhm.
Okay, so back to you. So part of why I started this series is to motivate and inspire creatives that were shut down because of, you know, COVID-19.
Yes.
How has that experience been for you? You know, being a mom, but also being an artist. What were the biggest impacts for you personally and professionally?
Oh, just as far as doing shows, you know, that I took it. Well, we all have taken an L on being able to, you know, get our show money. Of course, that's why instantly they've gone into these virtual performances, which have been awesome, which have been so motivating. My favorite was Jill Scott and Erykah Badu.
Wow, yeah.
And then I can't be biased, but you know, definitely Ludacris and Nelly. Okay,
oh, of course,
because
of course,
you know,
yeah.
it just was like a reintroduction of me You know, they already know who Luda is, but he played a few joints with me on there, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah,
remember
where's
her?"
Shawnna?" So then next thing you know, we get all these IG interviews, these radio interviews, and everything like that. So it's kind of been a blessing because I wasn't getting that before we were put on lockdown. You know, we had to really, you know, sift through it and reach out to people and say, "Hey, here we are." You know, so it's been kind of gift and a curse for us.
Yeah. And so how has it impacted you personally, like your family life and your mom life?
Well, my mom lives in Vegas. So it's like, you know, the travel, her being all the way out there. And then my dad is here, but he is so COVID conscious that, you know, no visitation. Like he allowed us to come over for Father's Day. I went to go give him a hug and he gave me an arm bump.
Those,
I was like, are you serious? He is not playing. But just from that point, I'm used to seeing him all the time down at the club. You know, I help my sisters manage his club here in Chicago, Buddy Guys Legends. So just being able to see him every night and, you know, interact with the family, that has affected us in a big way because we are a close unit and we see each other all the time.
Right. Yeah, that I can imagine that. So doing your music at this point, do you have new type of inspirations that make you feel like, oh, I can, you know, perfect my craft or my skill?
Oh, absolutely.
So what are some of the things that inspire you or people that inspire you?
Just everybody that just keep pushing, like people from my era, you know, because hip hop is the only genre that wants to throw you away after you're like 25.
I know, yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Ridiculous.
Like I hate to keep referencing my pops, but he's 83 years old, still getting Grammy awards, still putting out albums, still touring the world. Like
I know, right?
In venues that hold the at minimum 10,000. You know what I'm saying? But in hip hop, they're done with you after you're 25. So just everybody from my day and 25 and up that keeps pushing and fighting the monster and pushing against the machine, that's what motivates me. Musicians motivate me. I feel like I never had a chance to really transition into that part of me because I grew up with a musician, a singer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that is definitely in me. And that is what I'm bringing with my new project because here we are 10 years down the line. I'm older. I'm more mature. I have more experience. I'm not doing the things that I used to do. So you're not going to get block music, Shawnna.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're going to get
mature
VooDoo Child. VooDoo Child. Like what? And the reason I called it that is because Jimi Hendrix, one of my most favorite artists, other than my dad, had a song called VooDoo Child, and he just kind of just closed his eyes and lost it on the guitar. And my dad has his own rendition of it, and when he does it, mouths drop, and it's just like, okay, I started putting the pieces together. My dad is from Lettsworth, Louisiana, and he eventually moved to Baton Rouge, so he's a Louisiana boy. I've always gone down there and spent time with family. That's been a big part of my upbringing, and a lot of people just want to know the secret of like, why you still look so young? How come you can still rap so good? So I'm like, okay, let me just make it entertaining. Let me just say it's voodoo. You know, it's the VooDoo Child. Let me just bring it all out of me, the singing, the rapping, the dance, and everything that I can do, and bring it all out and name it VooDoo Child.
Right. And that is the first thing that I thought of when I read the title. I was like Jimi Hendrix. So because my dad was a guitarist, so you know I grew up with Jimi Hendrix being played all the time. And so that was the first thing that came to mind. I'm very excited about this project, especially you saying that, you know, the musician in you comes out in this on this project. So when can we expect it to drop?
We wanted to do something like this summer, but now that we are stuck in this state of not knowing when things will open back up, when we'll be able to do venues, because I like to go out. I want to go to the radio stations and do the promo. I want to go into the clubs and greet the DJs and play the record and take pictures with everybody and you know, be amongst the people and get feedback and things like that. So we keep having to push it back because I'm such an interactive artist that I'm not able to do that. So I don't want to just put out a project and I'm sitting at home just trying to hope and pray that it does what it's supposed to do. I want to get out there and make it work.
But is it like an option for you to put it out so people can enjoy the music and learn the music and then go out?
Maybe so, but you know how it is. Like they love it when you drop it and then it'll die down. You know, they got this. You got this attention span nowadays is like 15 seconds.
That's
You know what
true.
I'm saying? So I have to take that window and do it all as soon as I drop it. I got to be at the radio stations. I got to be in the clubs. I got to be at the shows. I got to do this and do that. So I don't want to drop it now and then it kind of loses momentum. And then I'm not trying to bring that momentum back later once they let us out. So that's why we've been kind of just dropping singles and doing remixes and just to kind of keep everybody just, you know, kind of satisfied with something, that some releases. But yeah, I just want to get back out there. You know what I mean?
We want to see you. We want honestly, I'll be front row at your show right now.
Thank you.
Because, you know, you were talking about people being thrown out in hip hop once they've reached a certain age or a peak in their career, and then their career should die down. That's definitely true. But one of the things about Europe is that a lot of the old school artists are always booked out here.
Yes, they
have some type of appreciation for people that actually have established something, like the music and the name.
Yes.
So I think you would do very well, especially with a new project out. I think you could tour all of Europe when
I
when
would
Corona is gone.
absolutely love it. I have not had a chance as Shawnna to come across the pond, like they say. And do what yourself, I do. I was a group back then, and then we were just the opening act for the major artists then. So it's like I don't think I would come back home, honestly. I would just I would find me a place
I got you
there. And I don't know, because I learned at a very young age the appreciation for music that they have overseas. Like they didn't understand the words I was saying, the language. They didn't speak English, and they were vibing and enjoying it and having fun. I think we crowd surfed, and I never drank that much alcohol before in my life. And it was just, it was the love and the reception was something that I cannot compare to anything else. And it's insane because they don't even know what I'm saying. And then here at home, you're under a microscope, you know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I don't like you because of this. I don't like you because of that. You know, and then it's like, you know, I'm just trying to just do what the gift that God gave me. You know what I'm saying? This is not patterned or customized to your liking. This is what I do.
This is what you do. Yeah.
And if you don't like it, go somewhere else, you know, but I don't get that vibe overseas, you know? It's crazy. I cannot wait to get back over there.
I'm happy that you said that because the funny thing is when I listen to music, the first thing I do is vibe to the energy, the beat, the harmonies, the melodies. And then I start listening to the lyrics, you know, me not being an English native, you know, having to deal with your flow is like, I have to really pay attention to what is she saying. And then, you know, luckily for me, I've been around, you know, Atlanta and the South. So I know kind of the slang. Well, you're from Chicago, but still there's like a lot of American slang in there.
Yes.
And, you know, me dealing with a lot of people in the States, I know what you're saying. But I can imagine other people are like, what the hell is this about? Like,
absolutely. But me personally, when I write, I use my cadences as an instrument. Like I can literally hum my lyrics to the beat, and it would be as if it was a saxophone or a guitar or a bass. So I think when people don't understand the lyrics, if you can do that, that kind of resonates with them. They can, because music is a universal language. It speaks to us all. I sometimes I hear music of different languages and I just love it. I don't know what they're saying, but I love it because of the tone, the cadence, the sound, the tempo, and everything is just matched perfectly.
Right. And it's the same for people listening to Spanish music that don't know Spanish or French or whatever language really.
Absolutely.
So what are some of the things that you feel like you are doing different now as far as your music is? Well, you said you already are now being a musician, but can you name some examples on your new project?
Like, you know, when I was dropping Worth the Wait and block music, it was a lot of street talk. It was a lot of guns and this and the hood and dope and all that and stuff. And now here we are 10 plus years down the line. My children's father is looking at 119 years in jail. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's like, that shit is real. Excuse my language. It's real. And now it's time to talk about the realness of it, the what really happens in that type of life. Because I feel like having this platform, you have a responsibility to speak the truth. And that's what I was doing at that time. I was in the streets. I was next to these guys that's hustling and doing all this type of stuff. So that's what I saw. And now I'm seeing guys that aren't here anymore, rest in peace. I'm seeing guys that are locked away from their families, children that have no fathers at home, women that are stuck being single mothers because of the decisions that their loved ones made. And that's where I am, as mature as older Shawnna. So that's a big change in my music. I still speak the truth of the streets, but it's from a more mature point of view.
Right.
It's more from a leadership point of view rather than being in it and living in it. It's I made it out, and this is kind of how you need to move and what you need to do to make it out. Because you don't want to be sitting on an interview and telling somebody that your baby daddy is in jail, gonna be there for 119 years. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to promote that to nobody, because nobody deserves to have that type of lifestyle.
Yeah. And talking about that, with everything going on now with, after George Floyd's passing, his killing, the whole world basically stood up and was rising towards racism and trying to, shut it down for once and for all. Even here in Amsterdam, in the Netherlands, we're all protesting, where there's a lot going on. It's not just the United States. There's a lot of systemic racism over here as well.
Absolutely.
I mean, this is the country of one of the biggest colonizers in the world, which is how my people ended up here, because we were colonized. And so is this a time where you feel like you also speak from that point of view?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I just did a record with Shantae Savage called Burn This MF Down. And it's basically just the anger and the frustration and the point of not knowing what else to do that we had to put into this record. I was battling back and forth with a lot of people on the internet, because, some feel like, the protesting and the looting is not the thing to do, and some people feel like it is. I just feel like this George Floyd was the straw that broke the camel's back.
Yes.
Everything that we are seeing, this domino effect, is from prolonged frustration and pinned up aggression that we've been dealing with constantly for years, over and over and over. And now we at the point we cannot take it anymore. We cannot allow it anymore. If we have to burn everything down, then we got to burn this bitch down. That's where we are, you know? And then we feel like you pushed us to this point because we've marched, we've kneeled, we've silently protested. We've done things in a civilized manner, and we've to no avail. To no avail.
Yeah.
And it's
all
blatant. Now it's on camera. It's blatant and it's reoccurring. And we just can't take it anymore. So, I heard a few records and they were kind of like very softly addressing the issue. And it made me upset because you can clearly see that we're upset.
Yeah.
We're angry.
You have to translate that into the music.
And we need that. And we need that. So when we drop this record, you're going to hear, I was obviously upset.
Right. And is it, when can we expect that, or is that not?
They're in the mixing process. The producer, Terry Hunter, he's a big time producer here in Chicago. He's done, you know Terry, of course. So Terry Emac produced it, and Shantae Savage, we all know who that is. He's another Chicago icon. Yeah. So we all came together and we put this record together. Hopefully we'll do it soon. We are discussing some visuals with a few videographers.
Oh, cool.
And trying to get everybody scheduled together so we can shoot it. One of the people in here said burning down your own neighborhood is not the answer. I argued that same fact, but people have their own ways of dealing with their anger and their frustration, and you just have to respect that. You know what I mean? Yeah. We gonna argue all day about it. So I respect your opinion, but I'm not knocking anybody. Right now, we just at a place where we don't know what else to do.
To make sure that we are heard, really.
Yes.
I've seen a lot of people posting questions. If you do have questions, please put it in question box and I'll get to them in a minute. Talking about Chicago, all this built up anger and frustration that people of color now have, not just Black people. it's also coming from, you know, being in the house for 3 months, being locked up, you can't do anything,
Yes.
and now this shit's happening. So it was just like everything was
Mm-hmm.
building up already.
Girl, I said that.
Can't go nowhere.
I said
Yeah.
that. I looked around. I said, not now. You know, no disrespect to the George Floyd and what happened to him and his family. My heart goes out to him and everyone that we've lost.
Yeah.
In that manner. But I said, it's bigger than George. This is bigger than George Floyd. This is, like I said, this is an accumulation of everything that we're dealing with right now.
Worldwide, yes.
Yes.
And so, you know, just a little background over here, we may not have the same numbers of police killings and police brutality, but it happens. And in March, there was a black man killed over here by the police, same way George Floyd got killed. But that nobody knew about that until all of this, and it just hit the news, the national news, just like 2 weeks ago, which is 3 months later. So a lot of dirt is surfacing now over here as well. And
good.
So we're marching and we're protesting and we're doing whatever over here. We're just not rioting and looting, which I'm happy about. But
because I agree with you on that. I'm happy about it too, that's kind of subsided, because you know, we still have people in the neighborhoods that need essentials that were taken away from them. You know, that's the only negative that I see. Well, not the only negative, but that's the biggest thing, like the babies, the food that's needed, the medication that's needed for the elders and things like that.
Exactly. So I heard that there was a new wave in Florida, and North Carolina is on lockdown again. How is it in Chicago? How is it in Illinois?
Well, the most recent announcement is that they're going to still open things back up, but at a 50 person capacity.
Okay.
Me personally, I'm not going outside, you know, unless I have to. I prefer an outdoor event, maybe, you know, because I have gone out and supported some of my friends who are promoters in the city, and they have a couple of outdoor events that have happened that have gone over really well. But you know, it's real. I have family members that work in the medical field. So I get a firsthand explanation of what is really going on with this pandemic and this virus. And I'm afraid. And, you know, not to knock anybody else, because I know it's frustrating. I do have cabin fever. I do want to get TF out of the house here and there. But is it really worth it? You know what I mean? For you to be hospitalized at near death on a ventilator because you had to go out and have a few drinks with your friends, you know?
Well, not even that. I mean, you were talking about your dad. He's 83. If you want to go see him, he's probably a risk group. So you don't want to bring that to him. You may not get sick, but you can, you know, transfer it to the people you love that are you know, in that risk group. That's how
it's really where you could be asymptomatic. You don't have to have the fever. You don't have to have any symptoms, and you could be still a carrier of it. So, you know, people just have to be very responsible, be mindful, and be wise, and move cautiously, because I mean, it's still here. It's still here. They're not opening because the virus is gone. They're opening because the economy
needs to get back up.
You know, we need to first and foremost understand that, because that the money is the issue, and it's always the issue with
in America.
I don't want to get all into politics, but we all know money is the motivation.
Yeah, and that's the difference with the United States and the Netherlands. Money is not the motivation over here. So
I know,
and we all got pretty good. I mean, it's obviously not what you make a month, but we all got pretty good support from the government if you need it. So you know, nobody is really suffering here.
I mean,
of course, people have lost businesses and stuff, which is terrible. But I mean, they're doing all they can out here.
That's good. That is good.
Our curve has been pretty much flat. We haven't had any new cases, so we can play outside again. And I think July 1st, all the gyms are opening up, and people can do, you know, there's no max capacity anymore for events, as long as you keep social distancing. Like we have 1.5 meters, so that's the 6 feet for you guys. We have to keep that up.
Yes.
Okay, so have you ever thought about moving to Georgia?
I did. I lived in Atlanta. I lived in Atlanta twice, actually. especially around the time that we were working on the album. When I first signed with Disturbing the Peace, I moved to Atlanta because, you know, I wanted to be able to hit the studio right when they got in the studio, get to work right when they got to work, take off on the bus with them when the bus was ready to leave and stuff like that. So, but I got homesick. You know, I missed my family. I missed my friends. So I came back. And then by the time we got ready to release the second album, I moved back again and stayed for about a year. Can you keep him quiet, please? Sorry, I got the puppy upstairs barking out of control. And I'm just like, oh. But yeah, I did live there a few times for about a year. But I'm considering leaving Chicago again because, you know, I'm just ready. I'm ready. I just, you know, you get more for your money, you know, down south.
That's
you
true.
know, I'm paying these high property taxes and just, you know, I want to go and just see somewhere else. You know, I'm tired of these cold winters.
Yeah. Oh my
You know what I mean? I'm wearing,
killing me. Yeah.
Yes, Jesus Christ. And they just keep getting longer and longer. Now winter goes all the way until damn near June now.
Girl, go to Atlanta.
I'm over it. I'm looking more towards Texas. I don't know. They say it's a lot of flooding down there and stuff, but
Texas?
Hey, everywhere you go, you're going to deal with something. If you go down south, you're going to deal with the rain. Depending on where, you're going to deal with the hurricanes. If you up here, you're going to deal with the blizzards. You go to Cali, you're going to deal with the earthquakes. You got to deal with something.
There's something everywhere,
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny because all of you are from Chicago, you know, Chris, Four Eyes, and, you know, so I just love the fact that it's really a Chicago clique. But I know that the boys never been back to live there, and so that's interesting that you were like, I'm homesick, I gotta go home.
Yeah, I was homesick, but now it's like so much craziness going on here. I'm still raising the little one. I have a 10-year-old, and I think it's time to go. You know, I think it's
so
time
how are you gonna do it when if you let's say you move somewhere else and you pop off, the album is dope, and you go to Europe to tour for 3 weeks? What are you gonna do with the kids?
I'm taking her with me. Everything's virtual.
Cool.
Everything's virtual now anyway. I talked to a few friends of mine that work for the school board.
Right.
And they said that in conversations, they are really leaning still towards virtual learning, maybe only 3 days out of the week in the classroom. And even with that, it'll only be a certain amount of children that come for that 3 days. And then the next week, a certain amount of children that'll come for those 3 days. And that just makes me want to do homeschooling because it's just too much. You know, it's just too much.
Yeah.
You know, so I would definitely do homeschooling and take her with me.
Oh, that's awesome. And you know that people have been homeschooling here for the past 3 months because schools were closed. So
absolutely. So you know, we had to learn how to do it whether we wanted to or not. So now
exactly.
we've learned it, and so I'm gonna go with it.
Oh, that's awesome. I would love to meet her as well when you come
out my gosh, she's a mini me. She loves to sing and dance, and
I'll take you guys around here.
That would be so dope. That would be so amazing. Cool. Thank you.
So going back to VooDoo Child, what are some of the collaborations that you really was hoping to get and that are on the album? Can you talk about that a little bit?
Absolutely. Well, right now, I think collectively, we decided not to do too many features because it's been so long and people just want Shawnna. They want Shawnna.
Exactly.
But with me transitioning more into singing and musicianship, I wanted to bring some more artists that are really known for that, and specifically artists from Chicago. So there's the main one I'm still working on is with BJ, the Chicago Kid.
Oh wow, yeah.
Love him. So I'm working on getting him to get in the studio with me. Of course, my dad. I don't release anything without him.
Dad on there?
Yeah, I don't release anything without him being on it. And also, I've been trying to gear some producers up to sample some of his music. He's long since given me the green light to sample his music.
Oh, that's great.
I feel like in hip hop, we haven't really kind of touched on the blues rap kind of collaboration thing yet, and with him being my dad, I feel like it's only right for me to do that and take that up. I would really feel bad if I had sat back and watched someone else do that.
Oh yeah, you got to be the first.
Yes, absolutely. So those right there, those two are like just really much it. Honestly, I didn't reach out like I still want to do something with Cardi. Oh, wow. I'm dying to do something with Cardi. I love her so much. She sampled Getting Some in her song with Party.
Right. You know what? I never really even thought of that.
She did. Wow. She did. And just to be like totally transparent about the situation, she's took care of me so well. Like, a lot of artists will go and sample you and not give a damn and let you have to pay all your lawyer fees and come after them for what you owe them for that. She reached out, well, her team reached out to me. They took care of me for it. They set the paperwork up properly. I mean, she's just an all around solid chick. You know, for me to know that she does that in her business, that's how she moves. I just loved her even more, you know?
Oh, yeah. I definitely feel some type of way about her now in a better way as well. I mean, I like her because I think she always went about things the right way. She was always very transparent with everything. So for all the artists that are in here, or producers, whatever, just, you know, give credit where credit's due. That's really what it is. Because you can't make a song, that particular song, without using a sample. Then you have to acknowledge that sample gets the credit, like, absolutely, and that artist or whoever made it, like,
and it's the law. It's the law, you know, so you can get sued for it. So why even go through all that? Just, you know,
just clear it.
And it's not even a huge fee that you got to pay. You just got to give up just a little percentage of the royalties or whatever you make about it, and then pay the artist for it. And, you know, that depends on what you negotiate. But she just happened to be very generous and just like, I was just blown away. Like, wow. You know, I was already blown away that she said it, that she sampled it and, you know, paid homage to me in that way. So for her to double back and then just like take care of me like that, and like she went even further. Like, every time she performs it, I get a percentage of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's awesome. They don't do that. You know what I'm saying? They don't do that nowadays.
She respects all the people that gone before her. She respects the music, because it's also not just the people, but if you really truly love music and you make music as an artist because you love it, then you respect the music and everyone that's worked on it. I used to have a radio show back in the day, a long time. Yeah, but my age is up there too. And I used to play hip hop music, but I would play the original and then mix it into the hip hop song that was out at the time. Just to show these kids that were listening that no, your favorite artist did not come up with that. This came from somewhere. Like, I went back to 70s, 60s even with some of the samples, just because I heard that some songs were sampled, and I was like, I gotta find the original and then show people that no, this is not original, this is not creativity. I mean, it's creative to flip it. But sometimes nothing was flipped even. It was just dead on the damn same, and just with some raps over it. So
that's absolutely, that's where we started at. And back in our era, it was all samples. You would go and sit down with a producer, and they would have crates on crates on crates of records. And I would sit in the studio for hours and watch them find that one little part in the record on the song that they like, and sample it and loop it and make the beat, add instruments and stuff like that. And that's where it all started from. And they know that. And any of the producers nowadays who really respect, like you said, the history of where it all came from, they know that.
Exactly.
They know that. Yes, absolutely.
And that is, I'm happy we're touching on this, because whoever is listening or watching, give the credits. It's not that hard. You want to use it, you're going to give the credits. Respect the artist, respect the music.
And it's going to take you that much further, because now you opening yourself up to that artist's audience and that era, and they just love that, because they like, wow, that's what it's about. Because eventually these younger artists that are young now are going to be older, and like my daughter, who's 10 years old now, will be on the main scene, and they're going to want that same respect as well. It's just, it's a cycle. It's a 360. You just got to keep that in mind. What goes up comes down, and it's all about how you set yourself up is how you'll come back down.
Exactly. Is your daughter into music?
Yes, very much so, but she's more into singing. She loves Taylor Swift.
That's cute.
And I'm okay with that, because there's a lot of content in hip hop right now that I just don't want her too much. You know, like, you
don't
know,
bother with it.
Don't get me wrong. Her mom is Shawnna. Don't get me wrong. But as away from the artist that I am, the mom that I am, is certain things that I just don't want her singing and listening to. Of course. So I prefer her being into Taylor Swift.
And you know, it's a lot more different nowadays than back in the day for us, because, you know, I caught myself listening to a Chris Brown song, just, you know, humming along, singing along. And then I was like, wait, hold up. Are they really saying this?
Yeah.
That wasn't the case back then. They were kind of talking around what they were meaning.
Yeah.
And there was like all kinds of metaphors used. It was more romantic.
Yeah.
It was loving. And now it's like, boom, I want to do this to you and I want to do that to you with all the names attached to it.
We did it though. It's our fault. We did it. I have to be honest.
Rap is different than singing though.
We went from that's very true. True. But we like some of the content now you be like, damn, what they saying that? Well, these are our kids. These are our babies. They grew up listening to us. So, in prime example, you go from like the 80s, 90s, booming in your Jeep.
Yeah.
And then you go to this bitch, that hoe. Let me see your pussy, this bitch. We got to be honest and be responsible for what we've done.
That's true.
So, we kind of kicked the door in on that. And now, the kids took off. Everything
that is true. But
so,
it was still not the norm, and I feel like now it's the norm. It's like normalized to have explicit lyrics, whether it's rap, hip hop, or R&B or soul.
But you know what? Hey, listen to this. My dad, every show he does, he has this song where he says, "This is where rap came from." So now we going back. My dad is 83, so we going back 100 years. And if this may, I don't know, the age range of the people who are listening, but if you go back to then, this was the rap of your great grandmother or your great grandfather or your depending on how old you are.
Right.
This was their rap. So it was very raunchy.
That's true.
It was very nasty.
That's
it was
very true.
Very cut and dry. And he says that. He says hip hop has got this shit from us, and he goes and he's talking is explicit. So I was like, you know what? It's nothing new under the sun.
Evolving.
We just reinvent it. It just evolves and we reinvent it, so it's going to continue.
Because everybody's parents always say, oh, why do you listen to that trash? You need to listen to some golden oldies. And then then later you're the parent, you're like, why you listen to this trash? So it just evolves. We turn into the parents.
It's been here. It's been here forever. You listen to some Johnny Cash and you can hear some of that shit he was saying in there. You know what I'm saying? It's been here. It's been here. Maybe it's a little more in the forefront now, but it's always been here.
That's true. I'm going to take a few questions because I see people putting questions in here.
Okay.
Okay, let's go up with Eddie Uptown. Oh, no question. He just wants to say that you're the most beautiful icon of all time and he loves you. Okay, that wasn't the question.
You. That's one of my followers. He always showing me love. Thank you, baby. I love you.
Eddie Uptown said, okay, well, I do have a question.
Okay.
What would it take to love and appreciate a great icon like yourself?
Oh,
are you
shooting your shot on the IG?
Yeah, shoot your shot, Eddie. I don't blame you.
Just be real. Just be yourself. Just be yourself.
Like
I'm the type of person that likes balance. I've never really dated in the celebrity pool because I want to have a conversation with you that I can learn from you from. If we talking about the same thing, how can I learn from you? How can you teach me something if we out doing the same thing every day? So
that's true. That's a good question. And that's a good answer too.
Thank you.
Let me see. Here's another person. It's Catalyst says, since we're in the collab album / EP era, ever considered a project with Twista? You
know what? Yeah, I'm glad you said that. And
Chicago,
I hope Twista gets his ass on here and listens to this question because we have an accumulation of songs that probably equates to about 2 projects that we have just sitting. So I'm waiting on Twista, y'all. Maybe y'all can reach out to him and kind of push him and get him to go with it because it's done. It's done. It's done. We were going to do like a Bonnie and Clyde type of thing, a Mickey and Mallory type of thing.
Oh, that'd be so dope. Yeah.
What? Right.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't know what to do it, but
the projects that are still laying out there, are they even considered for putting out, or do you want to do something new?
Yeah, yes, I believe now they're a little dated, so I would prefer to go back in and do a few more updated songs with some more, producers that have, that are hot like right now, so we can get that traffic to go in there. But they're done, so yes, absolutely. That before I'm done, I'm going to make sure that happens because Twista is also in the Guinness Book of World Records for rapping fast like that. I'm trying to do that too. Like I want that accolade as well. But just for us to kind of like, have that kind of battle of the sexes type of thing going on.
Yeah.
And that
That's the back and
speed of
forth.
flow is so
Yeah.
unique that
Yes.
I believe that would be a really good effort to release. And I'm just waiting on Twister.
We're all gonna hit him up, and it's kind of like we're gonna
Yes.
spam him.
Yeah.
There's another question from this is my friend Lucas Rich,
Okay.
who's a new artist. He just dropped a song. I gotta promote him a little bit. He's super cool. He's very very talented. He said, "How was working with Pharrell Williams?" If not asked already, but nobody.
Oh, geez. Oh my God. Do you know what? I was just listening to Happy before we did before we got on our IG live.
Oh, cool.
The collaboration with Pharrell actually came from just him sending it in. Just his appreciation for the record. And he was like, yo, Chris, he reached out to Chris and Luda and was like, yo, Chris, I got to get on that remix. I want to get on there. And sent his verse in. So I have not had the pleasure, the honor of working with him personally. So that's still on my bucket list. Absolutely.
Speak it into existence.
Oh my God.
You're going to work with Pharrell.
I think Pharrell could really coach me and groom me into that the artist that I'm trying to transition into.
The artist that you want to
be. And if I could just get in the studio with him and let's make that happen, it would be golden.
We're gonna put it out there right now. We
got
Twister, we got Pharrell. Okay,
yes.
Who else do you want to work with?
Missy. Put it out there.
Yeah, there's a
Missy. My collaboration with Missy was another one, was a favorite for a favorite. So Luda did the verse on one of Missy's songs, and then instead of a payout, he was like, well, can you just do a verse for my new artist Shawnna? And she was like, of course. And it just so happened that she was like, oh, she's dope, I love her, I rock with her. So me and Missy have had this kind of cyber 5 relationship since then, because I haven't had the honor of personally sitting in the studio with her either.
But that's gonna happen because Missy's down for working with dope female artists.
Yes.
Anyway, so
oh God, I love her.
She's gonna be
We're gonna have to add some extra hours to the studio time, because I'm gonna sit there and just be in awe for like an hour, and then I'll be
get that out the way.
Shawnna, yes.
Man, can I just come in there and just sit there in a corner?
Hell yeah, babe, come on, right?
I'll be out there.
Can I just breathe the same air that she's breathing? You know what I'm saying? I was like that when I met the Rolling Stones. I can imagine. They came a few years ago to see my dad. They were on tour, and for their Midwest leg, Chicago was the hub. So they would go out to Milwaukee or go out to, Detroit, and then they would come and stay at a hotel in Chicago. So they happened to get them all together, and they came to Buddy Guy's Legends, and they were upstairs in the office just taking shots of cognac and laughing and shit. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's Rolling Stones. Oh, don't fan out, because everybody else was like, in there just like, whatever, taking shots and kicking it. I'm over there like, oh my God. You know what I'm saying? So I know that's going to happen when I get in the studio with Missy. So just be ready, Missy.
And it's crazy because, me as a journalist, I've interviewed pretty big names in hip hop and, R&B. And I remember when I had to interview Ice Cube, and I was like, I got to stay cool. I got to stay cool. As many people as I have interviewed, it was Ice Cube and Rakim.
Yes,
Rakim,
it will happen.
I was nervous, and he was so cool, calm, and collected. You try to make a little joke, and he's just sitting there like, okay, I'm leaving the jokes out. Like,
yep, it'll happen.
And I'm pretty, I'm pretty calm when it comes to my interviews, because I've met so many people. But there are just some people that just, you have such respect for it that you're like,
some people just do that for you. Yeah. You got some that you just can't hold it in. You just like, oh my God.
Exactly. Okay. Yes. So there's more questions. The questions are coming in.
Okay.
What's your relationship with DTP at the moment?
You know what? Luda and I, it's no lie, we were estranged for a very long time, and it was such a heavy weight on me that when it happened, I literally felt it lift off of me. It's been a year. It was last year, Father's Day. Actually, we got booked at the same venue. And my team, Court and Gino, reached out to them and was like, yo, do y'all want to talk? And they were like, hell yeah. And
that's good.
It just was like, I was there. I had performed, earlier than him, obviously. So once he arrived, he was like, he sent his people like, tell Shawnna don't leave. And I was like, okay. It's about to happen. So I went backstage. They were having drinks because, like I said, it was Father's Day. So once I walked in the room, it was just like back to normal.
Right.
Like, it was no ill vibe.
Yeah.
It was no, how's this gonna go? It was just like, yo, Shawnna, yo, come take a shot. It's Father's Day. What's up? How the kids? How's your mom? Hey, you and vice versa.
Awesome.
And we took this picture. And actually, I was on my Snapchat and I took a picture. And before he went on stage, he was like, yo, send me that picture. But we all was like, okay, we're going to wait till we post it because we'll figure out when we post it. So I packed up and left and we got ready to hit the road. And all of a sudden I'm seeing my notifications go crazy. I'm like, what is going on? And I look and Luda posted it. I was like, I just started screaming. We were in the Waffle House parking lot. I just started screaming. I was like, he posted it, Joe! He posted it! And the reaction and the response was just so love. Everybody was like, oh my God, I'm so glad you're back together. Oh my God, I can listen to his music again because you guys are cool now. It was just like, you know, because I got fans that's really die hard. They don't play about me. So they literally had stopped listening.
Oh, we're freezing a little bit.
Can you hear me? Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm doing the Nelly.
No, it's okay. You're back.
We had you're back. Okay, we had it was a weight. There was a weight on me. It was a weight on the fans. You know, everybody was just because we had such an impact in that era. You know, DTP, we're set in stone. We're in the books. And so many people loved us that it was just awkward for everyone. Me, Luda, the fans, everybody. So when they saw that, it was just like everybody was like, oh, finally. Yeah. Now we can put up some of these old pics. Now we can listen to the old music, and now we can talk to you about it and speak on it. Right. So it's just awesome. And we still talk like every other week, every week. He'll call me and be like, yo, he knows I like horror movies. So he just texted me recently like, what's a good scary movie to watch? We having family night. Awesome. Like that type, you know? Yeah. So it's just, it feels great.
That's great because, you know, we all wanted to know what that was like. So thank you, Keith, for asking that question. Yes. I'm going to go through a few more questions because we're running towards the end of the interview.
Okay.
Oh, this is a good question from Real Madhouse. Shawnna, if you were to versus battle, who would it be? Would it be Twista?
Honestly, you guys, I stepped away for so long that I don't feel like I have enough material to do a versus battle. It would be somebody that only had 2 albums too. You know what I'm saying?
You know what?
I can't do a versus album with someone's catalog who is more extensive than mine. It wouldn't make sense. So I've been appreciating watching them and enjoying that motivation and just it's been bittersweet because I'm like, damn, all these years I could have had some shit out there, but everything happens for a reason. I'm back now. I'm about to start adding to the catalog. You know that, but I definitely wouldn't do it. I definitely wouldn't do it. No.
Yeah. Well, that makes perfectly sense to me.
Thank you.
A few more questions. What qualities are you looking for when collaborating with new producers?
I had this conversation in the studio with Terry and EMAC the other day. What I do when I go in the studio is I try not to be too aggressive. I try not to be too instrumental in the process. I kind of like them to kind of bring their full creative value to the table, and then I bring my collaboration because it can be a little intimidating. You know what I mean? Yeah. You don't want to go into the studio and tell the producer what to do or tell them what to make because you might sell yourself short. They might bring something to the table that's going to, you know, spice up what you're bringing. So, I just like them to be themselves. I know personally with having family members that are in production, like my brother Heron Tracks, working in the studio with him, just watching him just, construct a beat. 9 times out of 10, they have the hook in their head, the chorus already. Yeah. And they won't even say that to you because they feel like they overstepping their boundaries. So I feel like when I get ready to go in the studio with the producer, I want them to be freely themselves, bring everything that you got to the table, the hook, the backgrounds, the energy, the content, the cadence, whatever, and then we collaborate.
That's awesome. And you know what? I'm happy that you say that because I feel like pretty much all artists should have that open mind because you really limit yourself in working with people, but also in people wanting to work with you.
Yes.
If that's what's going to be said about you, like, hey, you were in the studio with such and such. Yeah, well, they only wanted to do this or that, and we weren't really vibing together, creating together.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. That's exactly what I mean.
next to being a journalist, I work with artists as well as a consultant and a manager. So that's what I try. I try to work with artists that are more open-minded. And you never have to do anything you don't want to do, but you know, and you might like it.
Right, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I see the question still coming in for the one that keeps asking when the release of VooDoo Child is. Please watch back from the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay. One question that I saw coming in more often: what advice would you give to new artists on the scene or trying to make it? What is something that you feel like, okay, this is something you have to think about when you come in the scene?
Oh, that's a good one. They always ask me this one, so I'll give it to you straight up. I want artists to understand the importance of knowing the legalities that come along with what you're doing, what you're attempting to do. Yeah. Any contract that you sign, know that contract word for word. Don't be afraid to speak up and say, what does that mean? And if they explain it to you and you still don't know, say, no, you got to break it down a little more for me. I don't understand what that means. Because back in my day, this was before the 360 deals where they wanted their hands and everything. So they kind of like throw this $50,000, this $100,000 at you. And this is an example. They throw this $100 advance at you and you like, fuck, I got $100,000. Where do I sign? But
I know.
You're signing a contract that says you'll owe this company 10 albums. There's no time limit on how long
they're going to release
and when you can drop it. This does not say you can drop 5 this year, 5 next year, and get out of the contract. You may be signing a contract that says 1 album per year. So now you're signing yourself to 10 years with this company. And then there are other stipulations that may be able to allow them to push that a little further and push back and push back. So you really selling your soul to this company for an amount of money that you can go out and make on your own. Cash to yourself. So I just would say in a nutshell, be smart. Know that you are a brand. And conduct yourself as such. That you are your business. You know what I mean?
Yes, you're a business. Exactly. That's what I would say.
Another example is, this is the realest shit I can drop on you. Everybody can't go. Stop trying to take bro them, cuz them, whoever them that have no experience in the industry.
Thank you.
Everybody can't go. Either you're going to learn this by me giving you a gem, or you're going to go down the line and realize all of the opportunities and the resources that you lacked because this person is just learning off of you. And then once you get fed up and get rid of them, now you've given them the ammunition to go and blow somebody else up. Because they learned it now. They've created these relationships and developed these resources. And now they're at the point to where they can take someone to the next level. Well, when you start, that's the person you should seek. The person that has that experience and has already taken someone to the next level. That's what I mean by everybody can't go, because you are a brand, you are a company. You have to carry yourself that way. You got to leave your emotions at home. I know you want to see your people eat. I wanted to see my people eat, but we all not going to eat the full meal if don't nobody know what they doing.
Then they're gonna take the meal from you. That's what's happening. Or they're gonna prevent you from getting the meal. I just learned that working with people that are personally connected to me is much better, because they're gonna do their job. That's what they're there for. People that are personally connected with you feel like they can get away with certain shit. They can just do certain shit because y'all cool. You just gonna get mad at me and cuss me out, whatever. You do that all the time. Don't carry that into your business. And that is what I do teach in my master classes as well. Because the first thing I say is, as an artist, you're a business, you're a brand.
Absolutely.
I'm getting the countdown already. I hate Instagram for counting me down because I get all like stressed out. Like, oh, I gotta round this up. I want to thank you so much for this conversation. I am, as a fan, I'm just super excited that I got to talk to you and I got to meet you in person. Well, not in person.
Thank you so much.
I just need you to drop this album. I need you to come
it's coming. I gotta get out my cold feet.
I need you to come out here, work with people over here. But I'll be talking to Court about that. And so, thank you. You have about 50 seconds left to leave us with something from you.
I just want to say thank you to everybody that tuned in and stayed on. I hope that I dropped some gems for y'all today.
Yes, you did.
I hope that you are As excited as I am about what's to come, I know it's a dark time right now, but we already have everything that we need to persevere and be great. All you have to do is just stop, think, and do it. We all here. We all got to be around each other. We all got to do this. Just keep being positive. Just keep being positive.
Amen.
In the dark, always shine light. Always shine light.
Thank you so much again. Thanks everyone for tuning in. I want everybody to be safe and healthy, and I'll be back with another What Now episode with another great person next week.
Yes.
And Shawnna,
and I'll be watching.
All right, cool.
Yes.
Right, be safe.
Thank you so much, baby. Shout out to everybody out there in Amsterdam. Get me out there. I cannot wait.